Though there was plenty of time for fun, musical entertainment, games, cookouts, and celebrations, the administration and faculty never lost sight of the mission of the Georgia State Women's College, Valdosta State College, and now Valdosta State University, which has remained the same. This institution, from its inception, has sought to open the doors of learning by providing a quality education that would enable a higher level of achievement for the daughters and sons of South Georgia. To talk about this academic heritage and to tell you about your alma mater's achievements today is Dr. Hugh C. Bailey, President of Valdosta State University for 23 years.
Yes. Hasn't it been a wonderful program? For all of those people, those alums who reminisce so beautifully, to the students and the members of the faculty who participated, I can't thank them enough, and I know I express your gratitude too. Ms. Wheeler, you took what could be a dull program and you put life and vigor. They said of Benjamin Disraeli that he could quote the statistics of tonnage coming into the port of London, and he could read it in such a fashion that every person in the audience had palpitations and shortness of breath. And you qualified the same way. To Dr. David Lee Johnson, to the singers and the dancers, Mr. Eric Nielsen, who did such a magnificent job. I hope some of you got to see his rendition of 42nd Street just a week or two ago, a magnificent production. I'm so grateful to all of them. There are many people who are responsible for this program, and of course one of the individuals who did so very much was the individual who heads the archives department of the Gertrude Gilmer Odom Library. Debbie did a tremendous job. Where is she? Miss Deborah Davis. Deborah, come up. I want to emulate these dancers. I've always wanted to get up and say,
Thank you.
Deborah spent an untold amount of time organizing the material, and if you don't have a copy of her book, you should get it before you leave, because it is really a wonderful publication with lovely photographs and many reminiscences. I usually do not pay tribute to my wife. She writes all my material. She heads me towards the university. At times she pushes me in the right direction, but she spent the entire last 2 days decorating and working with others. And since this is my swan song, I'm going to pay tribute to her publicly, so I do so at this time. I guess my major mission here is to not mess up a wonderful program. I had the opportunity when I first came here to go to about 20 churches on Sunday morning to speak to them. And usually they'd bring me on after the choir had given what was comparable to the Hallelujah chorus. They just rendered that. And then they would say, here is that new guy at Valdosta State. This has been a wonderful program, so I wish to keep it brief. I pay tribute to you. You are individuals who laid the foundation for a really great institution. The thing that I'm confident of is that the better years, the best years of this institution lie ahead. We have tremendous natural advantages. We're 200 miles or more from the research universities in this state. We're almost 200 miles from the only other regional university. We have a natural marketplace. Only half as many people attend college in South Georgia as in the state as a whole, and the state of Georgia has one of the lowest matriculation rates in the entire United States. We have a captive market, ladies and gentlemen. Our state is doing exceedingly well. If you see the projected enrollment figures, or not enrollment, I think in terms of enrollment, but the population figures for the state in the next 15 years, perhaps a 25% increase in population, we're very fortunate. but how much greater and better it will be when we educate to the fullest extent possible as many of our people as we can. And this institution will play a strategic role. It is ready for that. We have added many programs and many staff. We have 1,200 employees now. We have 500 faculty members, most of whom have terminal degrees. We have bitten the bullet. I took great pride this fall at the meeting of presidents when the number of individuals needing remediation and receiving it at institutions was displayed. There were only 2 of the 34 units of the university system that had no students in remediation who had graduated from high school within the last 5 years, and your alma mater was one of those 2 institutions. And we made provision for those who had a bit of trouble. We brought 4 two-year schools on campus, and they have a consortium location here. If students enter that, exit remediation, pass the freshman year with a C average, they can be admitted to Valdosta State University. So we've made provision, but still we've raised our standards. Our admission averages, our SAT averages for freshmen entering meets the national average. And for that to happen in South Georgia, which has the lowest SAT scores in the state, and Georgia's scores are low, is a remarkable achievement. We are a first-class institution, and we're getting better all the time. It's like my grandmother used to say. They'd say, "How are you, Miss Janie?" She said, "I'm just as sick as I can be, and I'm getting worse all the time." So your alma mater is doing well, but there's a great deal of good in its future, a great deal to anticipate. We are getting the infrastructure to do the job. We opened this time, we dedicated last week, a great new 148,000 square feet biology chemistry building with some 41 major labs, a lab for every individual professor that teaches in that building, a small lab, numerous classrooms. It's state of the art. It's the very best. We shall let a contract the 24th of May for doubling the size of our library. The last unit of this building, which will house the registrar's office, financial aid, and much of the business operations, the former Woolworth store, is under construction. The new student recreation center across from the cemetery, 70,000 square feet, yes, with an indoor climbing wall and an indoor swimming pool, is rapidly approaching completion. You might care to drive by and see that. We obtained planning and design money from the General Assembly in the last session to renovate Nevins Hall, to bring it into full usability, because it was constructed almost 40 years ago, and with the increased size we need for rooms that are utilizing the computer completely, we do not have adequate space in that facility. We're working very hard to get on the major list, or the minor list, to be funded subsequently, a music theater building, which we need very much. So we're getting the infrastructure to do the job. The library, with 1.6 million bibliographic entries, is a jewel and has the best staff in the country. I say that, Ms. Davis, again to pay tribute to Dr. Gameau and you and the others who work so hard on this program. Our information technology is the very best. Mr. Archibald, I think we must have spent at least $20 million in the last few years. Mr. Archibald has a staff of some 30 people that help him with this enterprise. We have 2,800 PCs on campus. All of our facilities are connected by microfiber, and we have some 27 or 28 labs for the use of students. We spent 6 hours last week at Georgia Tech working with them to bring additional programs to this campus, and I can tell you, they may have more than we have. They don't have anything that we don't have, and we're one of the very system-wide leaders in the utilization of information technology. So the future is very bright. Every generation you have to improve. Your children have to exceed you. We have a selection process that chooses a new president. He or she is going to be much better than the old one. It's about time we got some young leadership in here. But the future is very bright. Continue to support your alma mater and take pride in it, because I think that the years ahead are going to be magnificent for Valdosta State University, And as it goes, so goes much of South Georgia.